Hey! Hey guys, Randy here, and welcome aboard the CB Traveler channel. Ah boy, I had a good night's rest. After walking around all day in Jerome yesterday, I was quite tired. It actually did get a little bit chilly. I think it was down to like 40 degrees up here. We're at 7,000 feet, so yeah, it was really nice. But you can see the sun's coming up, and we have another kind of a long day today. We're gonna head down to Clarkdale. There's a couple things I want to check out down there. That's the train depot. There's the old town. Maybe just kind of walk around, look at some of the historic buildings, and then I want to go check out the Copper Art Museum. I hear that is a world-class museum, so we're gonna go check that out. And then I want to go see the Tuzigoot Monument, some ancient ruins. It may not be in that particular order, but those are the three things I want to do today. Yeah, I'm ready to get this one going.
Wide open desert under endless blues, red rocks climbing sunlit hues, scent of sage in the desert air, seems too long when I'm not there. Towering canyons like old friends, sun kisses land where trail will bend, back in the warmth of a fiery glow, Arizona is my home. This is where my heart belongs, in Arizona, singing songs. Feel the spirit in the sand. I'm back in my homeland. From the Grand Canyon to Sedona's light, cactus shadows in the twilight, morning breaks with a rosy dawn. Feels so good to be back home. Echoes of memories in the wind, painted deserts like a dream, footsteps in the red dirt road. Now I'm home, never feeling alone. This is where my heart belongs, in Arizona, singing songs. Feel the spirit in the sand. I'm back in my homeland.
Boy, what a beautiful drive this morning. Really nice views looking down the mountain into the valley. And being so early, it's nice and peaceful through Jerome again. I'm still feeling it though. And climbing up and down these hills for 3 or 4 hours looking at these different buildings. Yeah, that was a blast. And then looking at that museum with all the mining history, that was amazing too. But so if you haven't seen that one, I'll leave a link in the description, so that one's well worth checking out. But now we're on to Clarkdale. I think what we'll do is we'll find a spot in the old district and just kind of walk around, see if I can't find some storyboards, look at some of the buildings. When I was driving down this hill, I kind of was looking over the edge, and I saw what looked like an old abandoned building. And it was just mostly like the concrete foundation. You can kind of, is that it? No, I think it's a little bit farther up. I don't think I can drive up there, but I might just stop up here and see if we can't get a closer look at that old building. See if we can figure out. I'm just trying to get, I think it's up here on the left. Yeah, there it is. Let me get pulled over here and see if we can't get a little bit closer look and try and figure out what it is up there. But it caught my eye from up there looking down. I tried finding something online to see what this was, but I'm wondering if it might have been some sort of warehouse. It doesn't look like any type of housing. I don't if it was multi-story. You see these stairs up front. They look really cool. And that's what kind of caught my eye was the staircases. But yeah, unless it was like a hotel that was 2 or 3 stories tall, and this was just the bottom area. Hard to say. If you know, let me know. I'd be really interested to know what this was. Well, that was fun. That's what I like doing. If I see a place like that kind of catches my eye and I'm able to stop, I like to stop and just to see if I can find something out about it. Unfortunately, I couldn't find anything online, but yeah, I'd really like to know what that was. All right, well, Clarkdale is just down the hill, not too far. I think it's only like 10 minutes from Jerome down to Clarkdale. That's if you don't stop and look at old buildings. If you do that, it's a little bit more.
All we need is a place to be and a few good friends for some company. If you'd like to stay, you don't have to leave. We'll leave the lights on and the door unlocked. If you drop on by, you don't have to knock. We're happy to share whatever we've got.
All right. Let's see, what does this sign say? Historic Clarkdale. Let's see. I go right. No, let's go left. That's a pretty park. A big old gazebo right in the middle. Well, it's not very big. One thing I do know about this town is that it was, when it was designed from scratch. It was kind of like a modern suburb, but back in the early 1900s. So it was designed with purpose. It wasn't just kind of one street and then they added on. So that's one really cool thing. Look at that. That's a pretty old park. I saw some old fence posts. I also saw some storyboards. There's a couple more. This is going to be kind of nice because it's not huge, so we'll be able to walk around. There's nobody here. What a really nice park this is over. And just be able to take our time and check out these storyboards. Give us a little bit of local history here too. Let's see, make a left here. Alright, so I wanted to see where this building on the right is that Copper Art Museum. So I wanted to know where this was. It's not open yet. It doesn't open until 10 o'clock. So, but we'll make our way back. Now that I know where that is, that's a really cool building across the street. We'll have to check that out too. I'm just going to drive around a little bit, get my bearings, and find some place to park so we can walk around. But I'm going to have to look at this building on the right. Oh, there's another storyboard too. There's kind of like a city hall. I see police cars. So it might be like a courthouse kind of thing. Let's see, what's this straight ahead of us? The Historical Society Museum. And they're not open yet. More storyboards though. Yeah, this neighborhood has that feel of like old miners might have lived here. Oh, this is going to be fun. But I think what I'll do is make my way back to that art museum area, park there, and then we'll walk around, see what we can find out on some of these storyboards. All right, here we are. Lots of choices to park. So I'm going to find one real quick, and then we'll get out and walk around. All right, well, we're going to come to this museum a little bit later. I've heard some really, really cool things about here. This was an old high school, Clarkdale High School, 1928. Let's see this historical marker. Stories of Clarkdale. Well, let's see, this is a pretty interesting story. These two, Forrester and Nelson, they robbed the Bank of Arizona, Clarkdale. There was their car, the Chrysler, but they robbed the bank, and there was a famed lawman, James Roberts, and bank manager. As these guys were fleeing from the bank with $50,000, they started shooting at them, but they realized they were putting innocent people in danger, and one of the innocent people that were hit, he was actually shot in a pocket watch on his hip, and he got a bruise from it, so that saved him. But when they started seeing innocent people around, they stopped shooting at them. And then they eventually, see, there's a picture of the bank they robbed. But this all ended up at the Clarkdale High School. This building right here, you can kind of see the front entrance. But Forrester, this guy, he was shot and killed, and then Nelson, the passenger, got out and started running, and he just ran out of bullets. He was shooting as much as he could, ran out of bullets, and they arrested him. They're not sure if he was arrested here or over here, but it's pretty interesting. So that would put them right about here. Because there's the side. So they're seeing the curb when he was shot and stopped, and the car stopped. It ended up on the high school curb. Wow. That's interesting. And here's some of the guns they had. Huh. That's really cool. They've got some stuff laid out here. It looks like they're adding something, or maybe just polishing it up. There's a lot of stuff out on these benches. So it looks like they might be adding a display. This is all copper. Man. Wow. It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be exciting coming back here, checking this out when they open up. Wow. Just look at the size. Look at all that solid copper. Even these benches, I've never seen a bench with pavers like that. That even their sign, it's copper. Well, they probably have to do a lot of polishing. So it looks like there's a place to get your selfie. Get a closer look at the detail on this. Wow, even some more grading here. Wow. I wonder how much of this has been replaced. It's in pretty good shape. It just doesn't seem like they don't make high schools like this anymore. Here's a plaque. Just all that detail even up in the around those windows. Huh, this is kind of neat. This tree root. They just carved the brick around it. Huh. Even the scupper, the water flow, the downspout, everything is copper. Wow. What's this bell? It's in the church. Looks like it had an electric motor and it would smack the bell. Cast by Marcel Michaels, bell founder in Belgium. Wow, this was made in Belgium. It's kind of, it's got some wear down there. I also saw these chess. You can play chess or I don't think that's to scale, that checkerboard. But you can also, they have these little checker pieces too. Alright, well, we'll have to come back once they open up. Still got a little bit of time to kill, so I want to take a quick walk. The downtown, historic downtown, Clarkdale. It's really early in the morning. It's kind of nice not having cars driving down too many times. Just imagine this is where a lot of the employees, families lived for Jerome down here. Just kind of imagine who was walking, 100 years ago, who was walking down these streets. Well, we know a couple guys that robbed that bank. That bank's got to be. I wonder if they showed that map of where the bank was. I wonder if one of these was where the bank was the bank. See if I can find. There's another historical marker up here. I don't see plaques on any of these buildings. Used to be it's a brewery now, Smelter Town Brewery. Looks like it used to be a hotel. This is really peaceful walking through here right now. It's a pretty big park too. You got your gazebo. I saw another historic marker down here somewhere. Oh, here it is. It's down here. Oh, what a pretty park. Let's see, historic marker. Side view of home on 77th. Wow. Senator William Andrews Clark, founder of Clarksdale, New York City residence on 5th Avenue. What kind of house would a copper king from Montana dream of building on 5th Avenue to proclaim his arrival? Wow. America's most expensive mansion in 1908. Clark's car and waiting horse carriage, Louis IV Salon, located today in the Cochrane Gallery of Art in Washington, D.C. Here's their floor plans. $7 million, second floor. Wow, that's what $77 million would have got you back then. These look like some pretty old solid walls. I was noticing these. It must have had some sort of grate or something that went across. But that's all cracked up. Yeah, I think there's rebar coming out or some sort coming down all the way down. So there must have been a fence that went all the way down here too. This is pretty interesting too. Senator Clark had, this was considered a company town, and it was built to house the employees of the United Verde copper mine that's up in Jerome. And let's see, Clarkdale was designed with 4 distinct neighborhoods based on class structure. Upper town, large lots, great assortment of homes. That's where the white collar employees lived. The lower town, they all had identical neoclassical bungalows. That's where the blue collars lived. Patio Park was a neighborhood created for immigrant Mexican laborers. It was named for open courtyards between each family's connected home. Then the Rio Vista was the area near Verde River and was where people built their own homes on land rented from the United Verde Copper Company. There's some of the bungalows from the upper. Here's a picture. This is like 1920s. Here's Upper Town, late 1910s. Still looks pretty barren. There's another one, 1910s. Railroad workers who did not work for the smelter or the town built homes in this area between Lower Town and Patio Park. Very interesting. (901) Main Street Restoration Project. Miller's Market, former general store, built 1914. T.F. Miller Company. Street scene from post office. Clarkdale, Arizona. Here's a view of that T.F. Miller. And that whole district right there's been around for a long time. I saw another marker over here. It's really neat that they have these. Get some history. I noticed on this when they poured this slab. Oh, let's see. Clarkdale Elementary Kindergarten. Those kindergartners wrote their name in this slab. Chicago World's Fair of 1893. Clarkdale, Arizona, city, beautiful movement town. Chicago World's Fair. What's this? The layout and design of Clarkdale was of paramount importance to Senator Clark because the town was named after him. Notice the colonnade, arches, wide sidewalks, and streets with plentiful parking are all aspects of the city's beautiful movement. Central Parks. Oh yeah, here's that wall. Oh, I see. If you remember, at that park we looked at those columns. They did have gates here and here. And then it's hard to see, but there's fences that went south. So yeah, that's neat to see an old picture of what that used to look like. Stories of Clarkdale. These are all postcards. Wow. Street scene, post office, Clarkdale, 1920s. And that's looking right there. You can see that building. It's the 60s, a little color postcard there. So this was the post office that we're standing right by. We'll go walk through these colonnades, it looks like. Here's another picture of the park. Yeah, in the 20s, so that wall is really old. The 20s. Roman Catholic Church, Clarkdale, Arizona, 1920s. It kind of looked like this. Maybe this was the post office with all the columns. Community development, utilities, public works. What's that? There's a library. There's a library over there. And it looks like they're doing some remodeling or something to that building. It's all fenced off. I wonder if some of these cottages are from the original street layouts. You saw a lot of those houses and they looked a lot like that. I know Jerome had a lot of fires that destroyed a lot of the original buildings. Probably not so much down here. Seems like they're a little bit more organized and built with purpose. So probably didn't have that problem down here too much, if I had to guess. I noticed when we're walking around this old school, when I looked down, I saw the old church, Saint Cecilia. They're remodeling it, but that's originally built in 1919. And I also read that that's the original church bell, that they only ring it for special occasions these days. All right, so I think we're just going to turn left here. Yeah, if we go straight, this is how you can get up to the Tuzigoot Monument. That's not open yet either, so we'll run down to the train station. They've got some storyboards. There's a small little museum I want to check out, and we'll stop in at the visitor center as well. And then we'll just basically take a stroll down along the train so you can get a good idea of what the train cars look like, and they have some open car so you get an idea what they're like too. Well, there's lots of parking. They have quite a few people, I guess, that go on these rides. They leave about 1 o'clock. So it's early enough now that they're not going to be here. But you can tell by the size of this parking lot, they get a lot of people here. I think it's like a 3.5 hour ride on that train. You follow the Verde River all the way to there's a small ghost town at the end, and then they put her in reverse and head back. So sounds kind of fun. Maybe I have to do that someday. I'm not going to do it today, but sounds like something that I'd like to do in the future. All right, let's go check it out. It goes way down there. Power of Verde Canyon Railroad. 1966, 71, 83. $1,500 horsepower model, FP7, passenger locomotive. The first photograph taken on February 66 shows a delivery paint scheme, or livery, when the engines were repainted to a deeper blue and detailed yellow band. This is the route the train takes. This old abandoned canyon, or abandoned ranch, Packard Ranch, Alvarez Ranch. Wow, that looks like a pretty nice and scenic drive. So there's Clarkdale, that's where we're at. So it looks like it follows the river all the way. Wow, cool, look at that iron bridge. Yep, they're cleaning the windows. Evolution of railroad. Wow, that looks like a pretty comfortable ride. Holy cow. There's some people standing there on the open car. So you got a classic caboose. most exclusive class of service offered by Canyon Road is a historic American car and founder caboose. So you can actually take a trip back in the back in the caboose. Wow, that would be kind of cool. Wonder if they'll let you walk out onto that little balcony as it's going. And there's one of the open cars. So if you're you get your seat, you can go inside, stay on a hot day, maybe stay out of the sun. Then when you want to get a good view, just walk out to the open car. You can sit, stand, stay under the shade. Oh, this is neat. We've got refreshment area out here. Let's go check out the museum. Let's look at this sign first. Some of those cars are pretty loud when you're walking by them. Nosy Neighbors, the Javelina. They have to live near water source and will often roll in water and mud to cool themselves during the heat of summer. They migrated to Arizona via South America about the same time the native grasslands of Arizona were replaced by scrub and cactus. Collared peccary are only found in North America, in Arizona, Texas, and New Mexico. They usually travel in about 6 to 12 in a herd. They can increase to as many as 20. Their territory is about 750 acres. Well, let's go see if we can step inside the museum. Wow, cotton. This is inside of an actual train car. It's nice and cool in here. By the middle of the 20th century, Hollywood was enamored with Western movies and picturesque Verde Valley and California film crews, flocking to the region for stunning scenery. Cottonwood was founded in 1879 along the Verde River, which provides a lifeline for ranchers and farmers. Handbrake rods from the 50s coach car. The floor's a little bit creaky. One at a time, the lantern was only means... at one time, the lantern was only means of communication between a brakeman and engineer. The brakeman would signal the engineer through a wave of the lantern to ensure safety operation. I think that train ends at some old ruins out there, but I don't believe you can get out down there. They don't let you off the train. Yeah, it'd be pretty tough to get that many people all wrangled back up onto the actual train to get back home. Special Agent, 1860s these were. Union Pacific Special Agent. Cuffs, or look at that little lock. Top of this champagne bottle is what remains of the bottle used to christen the vintage FP7 units on their maiden voyage. Kind of reminds me of, used to be restaurants called Hobo Joe's. I wonder if that's... A lot of old relics that were found. Passenger ticket was found when these Streamliner cars were purchased for the from the Wyoming-Colorado Railroad. Spikes, locks. There's a rusted cap from a steam locomotive that's found out near Perkinsville. Some old ruins. Kind of like the ones, the Tonto National Monument. So you can see these on the railroad. The trip down, you can see these ruins, it looks like. Seen along the Verde Canyon Railroad tracks. Montezuma's Castle. Crews often cross interesting artifacts along the Verde Canyon. Just stuff they found as they go down there. These acid etched glass panels are from the Santa Fe Railroad ticket office. Scale, weighing service rendered by Toledo Scales. No springs, honest weight. Wow, the Marion shovel was purchased by William Clark for the United Verde Copper Company after it worked to build the Panama Canal. Wow, it's the same. So is that what he used for that open pit mine? So he bought it after it was used in the Panama Canal. Marion shovel was demolished in 27 when the bucket hit a coyote hole. Buried dynamite. Oh no. The accident killed 3 men. Wow. Burro trains. There's a picture of Jerome, Main Street. That's such a cool place, Jerome. Some of the smelters around. So they'd bring everything down here to Clarkdale to the smelter. I actually saw smoke or steam coming from one of them this morning. driving in. These old baggage. This bench is from the original train station that burned to the ground in the early part of the last century. Art Deco lamp from the 1940s. So, I guess they did have fires down here too. These vintage Fred Harvey postcards showcase the passenger service on Clarkdale branch of the Santa Fe Railroad. It's like a buggy on rails. The second Clarkdale depot was sold to let me read that again. The second Clarkdale depot was sold to a concern in Santa Fe, New Mexico. The party moved the depot to Prescott. I keep saying it's got to be Prescott, not Prescott. I got to remember to keep pronouncing it that way. The current Southwestern officially opened 1997. So they've had a couple of depots down here. I like this museum. It's kind of small, especially this early. There's nobody in here. Look at some of these crew cars known as the mulligan cars, the hooligan wagons. Crew cars. All the different types of engines. And there's part of the trip. Making a big old wide turn. Hat tickets. There's a brakeman hat. There's another brakeman. I only have a book for me to sign in, so I'll do that before I leave. All right, I'm all signed in. Let's walk down a little bit farther. There's some more signs to read. See how far down we can go. This was really cool. Oh, can't go that way. I think that's, they have the sidewalk blocked off. That's about as far as we can go. I saw a sign down here. "1869 Ricochet. A life-size golden eagle just misses his first shot." And the jackrabbit. Wow, look at that. An old railroad tie, or a railroad. Oh, here's another one. Looks west. It's another old railroad track. In the 1800s, the monumental laying of the railroad across America forever changed the land and ways of life. So the eagle is looking west. I guess it symbolizes our expansion. You know, I don't know what's inside. I'm going to take a quick look. a shirt. It smells good. It smells good in here. But let's oh, that's pretty. $132. All right, let's get out of here. I like that paint job. That's what they changed it to, according to that sign. It was a red color, I think. But there they are. Hey! That was fun. Especially getting to see those people at the end. All right, let's get on the road. Boy, they have got a nice ride there. This would be a perfect day to ride motorcycles. And what a view this is. That Verde River flowing down there. And those cottonwoods are just thriving because of that constant supply of water. Wow. There's a bridge down here that we'll be going over. But I didn't realize it. A lot of this land that we'll be driving over was actually a tailings pond from the United Verde mine back in the early, well, since they started mining up in Jerome. But they actually, in the early 30s, I think it was, they bought, or they sold the, see, we're getting to where that tailings pond was. You'll see how flat it gets. But they sold the property to Yavapai County for $1, where the monument is. And then from there, they transferred it over to the federal government. See, it gets really flat here. You can see. And the good thing is, it's there's all the vegetation is growing back, and they've been treating it so that it's coming back to its normal life. This was all actually a floodplain at one point for the Verde River. You can kind of see the monument off in the distance. Just a reminder, if you guys like this kind of content, just hit that like button for me. It helps the channel grow. Subscribe if you haven't, and then that notification bell will let you know when I put out another video so you don't miss them. But yeah, that really does help the channel. And comments too. I like to hear comments from people who have been to these places, or if I visit an old town that you grew up in. I love hearing comments from people like that. All right, well, the visitor center, the entrance to this monument should just be right up here. Doesn't look like it's too busy. It did kind of just open. There's a motorcycle buddy ahead of us. Well, there's actually a little bit more people than I thought, but still plenty of parking. All right, I think, see if I can't get a place close to the entrance. Looks like a good spot. Can't wait to start exploring. This is going to be fun. Okay, entrance fee, $10 per person. I have my America the Beautiful card, so I should be able to get in here for free since it's a national monument. Credit card only, no cash. Reacting to change. Wow, look at that. Just different potteries. Large pieces of red argillite, commonly called pipestone, the raw material of much of the stone jewelry. Look how tiny those pieces are right there. Wow. Beads were rubbed across sandstone to the desired size and smoothness. Wow, there's a bead core. Traders to the southwest. Corn kernels, charred beans, handheld hoe. Oh man. Residents likely practiced floodwater farming in conjunction with irrigation in the historic times. Wow. That is quid, the gift of agave. Look at all the different sizes of arrowheads. Wow.
Do we sell this? Yes. We do? Huh?
They sell a Tuzigoot one, but that is specifically for our monuments.
Oh, that's really cool. Alright.
Bone awls. Bone objects were uncommonly numerous, with 335 bone implements.
Our coin also is two-sided. This has all three of them on it.
Reeds cut for arrow shafts. Wow. I wonder how they kept them even close to straight enough to shoot. Mesquite. Wow.
These are the law enforcement ones.
Making of the monument.
What, here?
Castle.
Really? When?
Earlier, everything's still there.
Well, I've never heard of it.
Yeah, Rob's family.
Huh.
They didn't announce it. They wanted it close.
Well, sure.
Stone axes were indispensable tools. Large ones felled trees and split logs. Wow, that's some pretty big pottery too. Look at that. Wow. From rubble to reconstruction. An exploration of Tuzigoot Pueblo inspires questions, answering some while provoking others. The Pueblo today is mostly reconstructed, allowing you to follow the path, meandering among its time-worn rooms. We don't know what its first inhabitants called their home. The name Tuzigoot was chosen by the workers who rebuilt it. From Western Apache word Tuzigoot, to see hoot. Let's see. Along this 3rd mile loop trail, you will find remains of a 110-room pueblo. Feels warm, but just heard him say it's only going to be like 88 degrees today here. Not bad at all. People of the Verde. People have long been drawn to settle in the Verde Valley. Earliest people to arrive here left behind fluted spear points dated to 13,000 years ago. Well, 1,500 years ago, they settled more permanently. This is I think that's Montezuma's well, and then Montezuma's castle over here. Wow, it is pretty. scoot up here a little bit. Boy, you had a good view up here. Clues in the architecture. Although they shared similar lifestyles and cultures, people living here held some traditions that differed from their pueblo and neighbors to the north. Wow, these are some pretty big rooms. Clues from life and death. We can learn a lot of information about people who lived in the pueblo from what they left behind. A lot of beaded jewelry, weaving. Well, it makes you wonder, how did they get from one terrace to another? I can see they've added some drainage to get water to drain down, keep from eroding probably. Wow, how pretty is that? This is cool. Well, and you can even, this gives you a good top-down view here. Caring for traces of the past. Preservation. A building held together with mud mortar requires regular upkeep. Though well intended, some of the early preservation efforts can be mistaken for original construction, while others causing damage. Today's preservation efforts strive to protect structures without altering original construction methods. So you can go way down there. Look at that. So they reconstructed this later on. They started reconstructing this the way it would have been constructed. I'm seeing some of the early reconstruction.
Leave the lights on and the door unlocked. If you drop on by, you don't have to knock. We're happy to share whatever we've got.
Oh, cool. Oh, it feels so much better in here. That cool breeze. See the construction method. So they would overlap like the center beam. You can see they'd overlap here, and another beam would overlap the other way. All right, let's go upstairs.
Only get the background. It'll be a pretty background, and then I'll get a little. I'll see if I can get.
Yes.
I might. See what that looks like. Huh? A little bit.
This must be like the center point. You can see the museum down there, the visitor center.
We're good, I think.
Wow, look at the views. And from here you can see Clarkdale here, and off you can see Jerome. See the big old J on, was it Cleopatra Hill? And look at this view. Wow. This is so neat and unique. You can get down to the Verde River too. Looks like you can walk down there. There's access points that you can drive down there. From up here, you could just about see anybody coming up. There's a lot of mesquites in the cottonwoods along the river. Wow. This is super cool. All right, let's head back down to, this is a loop, so we gotta kind of take the way we haven't been yet. Yeah, there's some signs down here too. Let's go check those out. All right, rocks, rituals, and resources. Malachite, azurite, argillite, salt, copper, ore. For the Tuzigoot, rocks were a source of materials for paints, adornment, stone carvings, and held personal and ritual significance. The mineral deposits hidden in this landscape sustain life in the Verde Valley in the past and today. That was a foggy day there, look at that. The Verde Valley has been mined for minerals from ancient times to today. By May 1955, shifting winds swirled modern copper tailings into choking clouds of orange dust. So I wonder if that's what that was. On a windy day, those tailings, the Phelps Dodge Corporation scraped and revocated the millions of tons of mining waste that had once billowed into damaging dust storms. So they're managing it now. The Pueblo's Plaza. If Tuzigoot's Plaza served a role like those of the Pueblos today, this flat open area between rooms would have been the hub of social and ceremonial activities. Kind of like down at the Casa Grande Monument. That was a huge building, but that was all adobe. Wow. This is a pretty fun little place. It's not that bad of a hike. Moving on, after calling Tuzigoot home for centuries, shifting circumstances heralded change for the people of the Verde Valley. According to the Hopi, the Verde Valley was never intended to be a permanent home. So That's where we are right now. Montezuma's Well, Montezuma's Castle. Huh. Wow. The Yavapai say their ancestors left the pueblos and farms for a more mobile lifestyle of hunting and gathering. Interesting. Well, what a fun visit. Well, let's get back to the truck. The Copper Museum opens at 10 o'clock, so should be pretty close to opening. And this monument opens at 9 a.m. So it's kind of nice. You can kind of time it.
Singing, take me home tonight. I need you in my arms to wake up and feel alive. Sweet Arizona, yeah, I just can't get enough. I just can't get enough, no, I just can't get enough of you. Sweet Arizona. Sweet Arizona. Her hair was fire red like red rocks in the sun. Her eyes were stained glass like blue under the glacier runs. Nowhere we're going, still don't know where she came from. La la la, la la la, la la la. Singing, take me home tonight. I need you in my arms to wake up and feel alive. Sweet Arizona, yeah, I just can't get enough. I just can't get enough, no, I just can't get enough of you. Sweet Arizona. Sweet Arizona. Sweeter than California, sweeter than Tennessee, sweeter than Colorado, sweeter than Georgia peach. Started with conversation, now you're here next to me. 24/7 days of sweet. And Arizona, take me home tonight. I need you in my arms to wake up and feel alive. But I just can't get enough. I just can't get enough, no, I just can't get enough of you. Sweet Arizona, take me home tonight. I need you in my arms to wake up and feel alive. Sweet Arizona, yeah, I just can't get enough. I just can't get enough, no, I just can't get enough of you. Sweet Arizona. Sweet Arizona. Sweet Arizona. Sweet Arizona. Sweet Arizona.
All right, here we are. I was a little bit worried that I may not have a place to park being this close to opening, but looks like we're good. So let me get a place, and yeah, I can't wait to get in here. All right, should be open. Let's go check it out. Wow, look at this. Even the countertop is copper. Well, you can get a copper postcard. Genuine copper keepsake. Wow, look at that. Copper Art Museum. Let's see, this was the teacher's room, room 104, opening day 1928. Blueprints, love blueprints. East end elevation, front elevation. All concrete lintel to have 8-inch bearing, and outside will be formed with rough lumber. Art stone, art stone. So a lot of these are these are art stone. Look at that. That's some sort of concrete. Oh, it's a trench art, Clark Mansion fireplace. Clark Mansion archway, 1927. Wow. And this is just gorgeous right here. Wow. Look at this. Copper roof tiling. This is going to be so cool. Check this out. They have it hanging in copper, but some sort of pediment or something. Oh, they're lifting a way to lift it into place. Well, I really like that. Here's some trench art. Ventilation door, circa late 1800s. Early 1800s. This is from Germany. Oh, it was like water came out there. And this is a Clark Mansion window surround. Wow. We're going to follow these footprints. Wow, just look. Oh, I forgot to. Here's some pictures of the Memorial Clubhouse. Clark served as the Clark Memorial Clubhouse served as high school gymnasium, 1929. Chillin, 1949. I think those school buses, 1939. Football players on bus, 1939. Wow. And just to think, some of those guys probably ended up in World War I or II. Just look at the size of this polished copper nugget. 1.1 billion years old. Wow. Got some copper billet, tin ingot, bronze ingot, copper and tin produce bronze. So those two combined into bronze. Wow. Mercury. Check out that penny and that netter sitting on top of that mercury. Iron, horseshoes, lead. Tin. There's some silver. That's pretty detailed, that little piece right there. Then your gold. Ring, check out that little, all those little nuggets. Inside a little gold pan. And then here's the copper tubing, copper wire. Wow. Basilisk crest, 1517. Wow. Oh yeah, 1517. The basilisk. I didn't know what it meant until the Harry Potter reference. As soon as I saw Harry Potter, I'm like, oh, that's the basilisk. That's the snake that chased him around. Oh, what room was this? This was the history room, room 102. You know what's always interesting is hope this fan isn't too loud to talk, but some little history. What's always interesting to me is people will comment, oh, I've been to there, I went to high school there. So I'm wondering if somebody actually went to high school in this building. If you have, just leave a comment. I'd really love to hear about it. That is cool. Looks like it's a big old wave. It looks almost 3D. Wow. And somebody outside setting up shop, sell some stuff. Huh. Look at this, there's a copper license plate. Look at this flashlight. Big old copper flashlight. Crude bowls. That's a bell. Letter opener. Coppersmithing tools and analysis. Oh, and anvils. Oh man, I'm tired. Wow, these are some these things are heavy. Down to some not so heavy stuff to fine tuning it. He did mention that if it, they don't mind you handling. If it's on a wall, they don't mind you picking up and looking at it. Bornite peacock ore. That is beautiful. Wow. Looks like an art. Someone painted. Is that on copper? 2010. Painting on copper. So yeah, he must have painted on copper. Look at that. Portrait of old woman. That is amazing artwork there. Following the footprints. Now these rooms, they don't have air conditioning, so they use these fans. They use these fans to cool stuff off. Here's a lot more of that trench art. Look at that. San Diego, California, USA, 1920. Wow, that was a huge shell at one point. Artillery shell. Bertha, 1918. An old propeller up there. Looks like a 1914. Looks like a German logo. Wow. This whole room was dedicated to military art, it looks like. Belt buckles. 1900 to 1950. That trench art is cool. In between battles, they'd just grab an artillery shell or something and start doing their thing. Oh, look at this. The pirate cannon. Borneo pirate gun, 1700. Line it up. See, a lot of these screwed down. All shell casings on this row are British 18-pounders. They have religion, beauty, love, passion. These symbolize large battles that a soldier was in. Wow, look at that. Verdun, 1918. Huh. Just so much. Yeah, you definitely, if you're in this area, Clarkdale, definitely, most definitely come and see this place. Ah, some copper utensils. The first recorded medical use of copper as a treatment was in ancient Egyptian text. How copper was used to sterilize drinking water and wounds. The father of medicine, Hippocrates, used copper as a treatment for leg ulcers and were associated with varicose veins. A workshop, metal work. Well, somebody has to polish this stuff. Wow. Look at those corbels, column caps. Polished applied, coloring that is applied to copper. Patina, natural tarnish that forms on copper. Verdigris, natural oxidation that occurs on copper and its alloys. I'm gonna have to ask him who polishes this stuff. See, Clarkdale Room 101, science. So this was a science lab. Big old windows. Two, 4, 6, 8, 1 foot. So this is a ruler. Kind of at a loss for words. There's just so much to see. This is definitely someplace, if you're ever in the Jerome area, Clarkdale, Cottonwood, this is definitely someplace you've got to come see. Looks like a tablet. Facsimile of copper scroll, circa 100 AD. Wow. And look at that. More copper in the roof. There's stained glass window too. Ah, so this was the dark room, room 101, dark room, 1928. They collect this from all over the world, it looks like. It's just overwhelming how much look at this canopy, or looks like even the wire up there is copper. It's hard to see strands, gargoyles. This was Carnegie Mansion dormer, 1899, New York City, copper. I thought that was wood. It's copper. Wow, that's some copper work. Wow, that is so cool. Wow. An Aztec calendar. Wow. All right, well, I did ask preservation nugget. I did ask about polishing. And I'll show you some I'll show you some examples of some stuff he explained to me. Wow, this is a kitchen room. Holy cow, look at this. Okay, what he was telling me, if they're in a display case, something like this, they would send that off and have it professionally polished, and then they would put lacquer on it to preserve it for 15, 20 years. But if it's something like this, where it's out, you know, they'll polish it, but there's no lacquer on it, and because they know people are going to be touching it. Look at the size of that cheese grater. But yeah, so that's what they do. He says they cheat a little bit. If they know people are going to be looking at it, you know, they'll polish it, but they don't get lacquer on it. So. Look at that stove in the corner. There's some bread boxes, circa 1700s to 1800s. And he said if it's, you can lift these up, they don't mind you picking stuff up, just beware that it's metal. Wow. Just look at all this. I'm saying it's just amazing. Amazing. Look at this stove, copper handles. Wow, that's detailed. Even the screws back there are copper. Probably molds, huh, for jellos or something, cakes. I don't know. I don't know much about bakery. They're pretty fancy though. That's pretty. I like that blue color. Oh, look at this. So it's cut out to fit around these. So I wonder if like they put water in there. 'Cause I know if you have one of these in a house, it'll dry it out. So they'll put water in kettles to evaporate, add moisture back into the room. I don't know if there's a bigger, collection of copper anywhere. Copper as records. Before records are produced on vinyl, a mother copy master of the music must be made first. Many times these masters are made of copper. What kind of instrument is that? It takes 250 pounds of ore so you can blow your horn. Wow. Armed Forces Radio Services. The Pendleton story on copper. There's a screw. Navy diving helmet. Oh wow, look at this. The USS Constitution. Firefighting, the nozzles, wow, it goes way back in here too. Oh wow, look at this. Bathroom. His and her tubs. With the wine chiller in there. Wow, look at that. Let's see what this says. Every day new artifacts are arriving at the Copper Art Museum in Clarkdale. Recently found photos displayed in the Copper Museum remarks. Let's see. Bordeaux, France. These two tubs were from an exclusive spa that catered to couples, hence conversation tubs. All right. Wow. Copper and brass. Handmade. Toe shape, pointed but open toe. Double pump style. So they had copper tubing coming in to fill the tubs. So you can sit there, look at that, feet going there. Wow. That is amazing. This crib. Wow, it had the netting. It looks like netting. Keep the bugs away. Mosquitoes, flies. So cool. And he was saying as you're following the footprints, it starts out as little footprints and then they just get bigger as you go through the tour. Represents your growth in knowledge. General fixture supply. A coffee maker or something. These lights, man. Oh, I forgot to see what room this was. Room 108, the English room, 1928. Water cisterns, 1600s to 1700s, Western Europe. 1700s to 1800s. So they've put water in here. Like little fountains or something. Beer. Some mugs up there. Steins. Wow, look at that. The celebration tankards and pitchers. Wow. Beer vessel, 1500s to 1900s. 1725, look at that tankard. For serving from. Urns, pitchers, churns, pails. There's some more tankards. Yeah. Kept this little cooler. Wow, that is decorative India. These are Russian. Nepalese. Some Arabian. Oh, look at that one. Holy cow. Beer and wine vessels. The metal iron mixed with glass turns into greens. Put ice in there and chill your wine. Large wine jug, battle scene. Circa 1700. There's a wine fountain. 1800s, France.
Yeah, I just read about the station Lou. A freak accidents. Freak.
$1932 diploma. Look at the grade card. Uh-oh. C, B, C, B, C, B.
I always forget this idea when it's proper. I always forget that it's proper.
1935. These books. Some of the jerseys. Somebody carved some stuff in their notebook cover. Look at that helmet. Helmet donated by Lupe Uribe, Clarkdale Wolves, 46 to 47. Wow. 1928. '38, 8th grade, 7th grade. Football. Glee club, varsity basketball. Alchemist Letterman's Club. All right, well, that's very interesting. Secretary's office, room 106. St. George and Dragon, circa 1600s, origin manufactured in Germany. For South European clients. Yeah. Little tools. That couldn't have been good for much. Joan of Arc, grape pod, 1633. Those are harvesting tools, is what they are. Wine vault. Clarkdale High School vault, 106, Secretary's office. It's dark in here. Looks like some type of cart. Wow. Distilleries. Look at that cork puller. Distillery items. 1800s, 1900s, Western Europe. Copper and brass. Wow, look at that. That's a lot of copper, huh? Cognac pot still. Cognac. Sorry, cognac. Look at these gargoyles. That's copper. Also, I even see down there, there's a place to put, that's where everything was heated up. There's a place down here for wood. Coal, wood, whatever they used to burn to heat that up. All right, thank you.
Thank you so much.
This was a great visit. Okay. Boy, oh boy. And I also found out this is what they would brew beer in. When I was here earlier, I didn't know what that was. I asked, well, amazing. All right, well, that's going to do it from Clarkdale, Arizona. It's been fun. It's a great place to come visit. Lots of history to come see. So, and especially that copper museum. But anyways, I'm going to sign off. And just remember, never say goodbye. Always see you later.